Today we're going to be looking at Michael Penix Jr. and seeing if his cards are going to be worth buying in the future. And we're also going to be looking at him as an overall quarterback and seeing if he can play the quarterback at a high level. And in turn, if he plays quarterback at a high level, obviously his card prices will go up. So we'll be discussing if you should buy Michael Penix Jr. cards right now or just completely give up on him. Now, obviously, he does need to, win the starting quarterback job over Tua Tagovailoa, and it's not going to be easy. Tua is a very experienced veteran quarterback who's had insanely high peaks, but also has had insanely low lows, right? Tua, I think he's just maybe too inconsistent to win the starting quarterback job, and I know he's playing in the dome, so the cold weather is going to it's not going to have to be something that he's going to have to worry about. But at the same time, if Tua does win the quarterback job and they make the playoffs and Tua is coming off one of the better seasons of his career, chances are he will get a contract extension, and that would be the end of Michael Penix Jr.'s career as a Falcon. Obviously, he could go be traded or released and sign somewhere else and become that team's franchise guy, but the odds of that happening, if he gets released or traded by the Falcons, I'm going to be at like 10% that will never happen. So really, if Penix wins the starting job, great. He has an opportunity to prove to the Falcons that he could still be the franchise guy. So today we're going to be looking at some of his highlights, and I'm going to be doing the eye test, and I'm going to be like, okay, is this an average quarterback play? Is this an elite quarterback play? And we'll judge it off from there. Obviously, you could tell by my profile picture on YouTube, I am a Falcons fan. I remember watching this live. Honestly, I am more Team Penix for the reasons I'm about to list right now. But I'm going to keep it open in mind even if Tua wins the starting quarterback job. And I'll be completely honest, if more training camp footage comes out, or even during the preseason, because I'm pretty sure both of them are going to play, even during the preseason, if I think Tua or Penix should start.
Second down and 4.
Back under pressure. Now this is an elite. This is not elite, but this is a very good play by Penix. You're going to see here.
Second down and
he's pressured. The ball's not out of his hand yet. Defender's right there. Casey Washington. Yes, this is Casey Washington. As a Falcons fan, I can't believe that we went from Casey Washington to Zachariah Branch. Anyway, this is Casey Washington, the 6th round pick, right? He's going to run an out route here. Seems to be around a 10-yard out. Pressure right in Penix's face. He's still turning on his route. He's not even looking back at Penix yet.
4.
And look where Penix puts this ball. On the money. I mean, there is no reaching Casey Washington has to do with this. Nothing. Plays like that, I look at and I'm like, why is everyone writing Penix off? Well, not everyone's writing Penix off. You obviously have your Penix supporters that think he's going to win the job over Tua. But I see a lot of critics with the Falcons are like, well, you can't trust the quarterback situation. The quarterback situation is awful. No, it's not. You have a quarterback battle, sure. But to call it awful is just wrong. When you have a quarterback that's as experienced as Tua, and a quarterback that can make plays like this.
Second down and 4.
At what point does that quarterback situation become awful? I don't understand.
Penix to the outside, another first down is Washington.
We're going to keep watching these highlights, and I'll give my final verdict at the end. Because if he waits, you can see the linebacker is already coming into Drake London. If Penix waited, I want to say one more second, this is either incomplete or picked off. But Penix, we're going to get to this soon, his chemistry with Drake London is elite. Elite. I mean, the chemistry between them two, if you actually watch the games, they're top 10 in chemistry in the league. Easily. I mean, look how fast Penix has to throw out.
Penix complete, Drake London across midfield into Buccaneers territory.
Being associated with a losing organization.
You want to talk about pocket presence from Penix here. Look at this play from Penix right here. Pump fakes. Number 5. I think that's Hassan Reddick. I'm pretty sure. Great block by Chris Lindstrom here. Penix still stays on his feet and delivers a missile to Drake London. Oh no, is that
Get
Casey
rid of it.
Washington?
There it is.
Again, it's Casey Washington.
The catch is made.
Now, this is, I think, one of the most underrated features about Penix. Penix has a clutch gene. Naturally. This is his first week 1 game of his career. It's 4th and goal, 2 minutes and 23 seconds left. I want you to see what he does here. right? Everything's covered. Everything. He knows that linebacker's gonna knock that down. Kyle Pitts, he's not even out of his route yet. That's Cordero Hodge. You already have Cordero Hodge out here. I mean, look at this. You got Bijan out of the backfield, but this linebacker's on that. Ray McLeod is Ray McLeod. He's not making this catch. Again, Pitts not even out. Like, every possible thing's covered here. Horrific play call by Zach Robinson, who thank God's out of the Falcons organization now. Pump fakes. Has no senses of pressure. Knows he has a clear open room to step up. He could have dumped this off to Kyle Pitts right here. I'm not even gonna lie.
Pump fake.
But Penix trusts himself. Knees not down. Ball's over. That's a touchdown. Look what Penix does in these clutch scenarios. And this is just one example. You could go back to the Panthers Week 18 game last year, or 2 years ago now. You go back to the Commanders primetime game. 4th and goal, he throws a dot to Kyle Pitts in his rookie season. I mean, Penix has a clutch factor. And if you want, you could even go fast forward this, during, I think, week 8 or something like that last season against the Patriots. Penix throws a beautiful pass to Drake London. Drake London makes a beautiful catch, one-handed, to tie up the game. Similar situation, 4th and goal, and then the kicker misses the extra point. So then the Falcons ended up losing that game 23-24 instead of the Falcons tying that game 24-24 and then possibly going to overtime. And the Falcons would have probably won that game, honestly, because all the momentum was on the Falcons' side if they were to win into overtime.
Ball comes loose with a touchdown. They're ruling it a touchdown. The official on the near side can't run again, and he says it's holding on for
yeah, look at this athleticism. I remember there were some reports coming out earlier this year before we saw Penix in the training field and all that saying, he can't play under center because he can't bend his knees. I'm pretty sure that was a popular take because of Stephen A. Smith. So the same guy that could do this right here, is the same guy that can just simply bend his knees. Are you kidding me? Some narratives are just so stupid. Like, genuinely. Zach Robinson was really bad. One of Penix's biggest strengths coming out of college was his deep ball. I could only faintly remember a few deep balls from Penix this season. And it's not like he was trash at throwing the deep ball. I mean, every single time it felt like he threw a deep to Drake London. Drake London was going to come down with it and Penix was going to throw it down. This is an example of that right here.
16, Penix, pump, Penix, throw, rainbow, caught by London. Penix.
This is what I'm saying. This is not a average, below average, mid quarterback throw right here.
Throw, rainbow.
Do you not see where this ball is? Do you not see that? No trash quarterback is making this throw.
Caught by London.
This right here. He's being pressured by Joey Bosa. This is not your average pass rusher. Before this ball leaves his hands, he already has a hand on Penix.
First comes at him, and Penix flips it up.
Penix is able to give it to Bijan Robinson, who makes an amazing catch. Or not really amazing catch, amazing body position, body control. He's able to turn around for the ball. But still, Penix is able to throw the ball under pressure, able to perform under pressure, has a clutch gene. That is not bottom 5 quarterback, activity. I mean, there's no way you look at these highlights and be like, yeah, that guy's bottom 5. He might give the Falcons 8 wins. No. Whether it's Tua or Penix, both of them are walking into a incredible situation with a top 10 offensive line, the best running back in the league, Drake London, who's a top 10 receiver. I don't care what anyone says. Pitts, who's the top 5 tight end. Zachariah Branch, who's one of the most exciting talents coming out of this draft. You have the best secondary in the league. You have a very good pass rush. Point is, Penix is stepping into an amazing situation. Penix is on track to be fully healthy. I feel like this Falcons team is on par as talented as that 2023 Miami Dolphins team, if not more talented. So, look, whether it's Penix or Tua, the Falcons are very capable of making the playoffs. They should make the playoffs. But if it's Penix, I'm telling you right now, get his cards before the season starts. At the millisecond they announce that if Penix wins the quarterback battle, just buy, I don't know, a decent Penix card. Or buy a 2024 Prism box, and hopefully you pull a good Penix. Because I think Penix is going to go up this year. Because I think he's going to win the job and play amazing. I mean, you want to look up Michael Penix Jr. on Sports Card Investor? I mean, surprisingly, a lot of Penix stuff are up right now. Obviously, I can't really view 100% of the details because I don't have, I think it's called Market Mover or something like that. I don't really have all that info, but what I can say is, though, Penix stuff is already going up. Because I think people are finally starting to see that because of all the training camp footage that's been releasing and all the recent news has been coming out saying that, it's a neck-and-neck battle right now between Penix and Tua. I think the more and more Penix gets healthy, the more and more Penix is really going to separate himself as a clear QB1. Not saying that Tua's a trash quarterback or anything, but I'm just saying if you want to be in win-now mode and also be secured for the future, Penix is the perfect guy. Because you can see by the highlights I already showed you, and I haven't even gotten to some of his best games, like the game he got injured against the Panthers, he was cooking them. The game against New England, absolutely beautiful. I haven't even showed you guys those games. I'll be more than happy to make a separate video on that again. But, I'm just saying. Penix cards, I think, are worth either keeping or buying. Especially if they announce Penix being QB1. Because the millisecond Penix is announced QB1, these are all going to go up. Because he won't be changing teams. But I definitely think he could have almost like a Bryce Young type of story arc where he didn't really get benched, but, he got injured. Everyone was kind of writing him off, and then he comes back, has a solid season, except I think Penix is going to have a better bounce back than Bryce Young. Because I think Penix, talent-wise, is more talented than Bryce Young, especially with arm talent. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video, hopefully.